Welcome to
Every day it's macaroni.
I'm Joy Alford Brand.
And I'm Juliet Connell, and we're the hosts of Everyday Macaroni, the podcast.
This podcast is a look at the lighter side of life, where we talk about our adventures as a modern blended family.
So sit back, relax,
And prepare to have your funny bone tickled. Hello, listeners. Boy, do we have an extra special treat for you today. But before we get started, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to give this video a like, share, and subscribe to our channel while you're at it. That helps us create more fun content for you, our one and only listener. For those of you who are new here, these episodes are based on the recordings of the weekly dinners I have with my husband Ron, his sister Juliet, who is also a co-host of this podcast, and their 80-year-old parents, Al and Lita. Well, listener, since it's vacation season, we thought you might enjoy a few tales from our recent family vacation to the beach. Yep, we're talking puppy dog tales, and a few other fun things in this episode, as you may have guessed from the title. We know you're going to have fun listening to us talk about our 3 favorite dogs on vacation. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. Enjoy.
We're back.
We're back. Hello. I know everybody's happy about that. Oh, we've got so much to talk about.
I know.
So many things happened. It almost feels like lots of things happened, but nothing really happened. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fortunately, what with having all of us in, I don't know, how big do you think the house was? 1,500 square feet?
Yeah, probably. Mostly bedrooms.
Mostly bedrooms. 1,500 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
The Jack and Jill bathrooms that we all kept locking each other out of.
Yep, that's right.
And all of us, 3 dogs.
Yep, 3 dogs.
Yes, and no major emotional event.
Yeah, no major events at all. So that's saying something, especially when you have 3 different generations there.
Mm-hmm.
So, listener, we are talking about family vacations.
That's right. That's what we're talking about.
Now, I do have to say that my neighbor did the exact same thing. We just got back on Saturday. He was packing up his car on Saturday, and he was going with 20 people, 20 family members. And what they did was they rented a duplex, kids on one side, adults on the other.
Nice.
Yeah. So we were like, you rented 2. He's like, yeah, we had 20 people. How are we going to find place for all of those?
20 people. So, could you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine.
So
Ken would pass out. All the cooking he'd have to do.
20 people. Mm-hmm. I know.
Yes, he would pass out. Had some good Ken meals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'd want to do 20 people, especially if every family came with its own dog.
Oh.
Because I have a whole list of things to talk about from this trip. We might have to make this in 2 episodes. Because so much stuff happened. And it was fun because we had the dogs.
Yep.
And so one of the things that, we might as well just jump right in here.
Sure, why not?
One of the things that I particularly enjoyed watching was the dynamic between you and Ladybug, because Ladybug's a pacer, and so are you. So here's Ladybug pacing around, and right behind her, there you go. The 2 of you pacing together. Ladybug's pacing. She's so nervous. It took her a couple of days to kind of settle in a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there you are right behind her. The 2 of you pacing. Yeah,
I was probably behind her, vacuuming all the hair that she was like dropping.
That's true. That dog can let go of some hair.
I know. And I told Caitlin, because we brushed her until we had bags
every
of
day,
hair, right?
Weren't you brushing her every day?
And
mostly?
I was brushing her over there. I didn't brush her every day on vacation, but I was making sure that she had already lost some hair. So the first day we were there, I have to say that the floors were not already swept, right? So when I had walked in, I had already saw some hairs from maybe a previous tenant or something.
Well, it's a dog-friendly place. So
yeah.
You know, if you're a dog person, dog hair is your glitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But by the 2nd or 3rd day, I was like, oh, there's like tumbleweeds down the hallway. So I was looking for a broom.
I come in the kitchen, and I'm having a nice quiet cup of coffee, right? And here's Juliet with a vacuum cleaner.
I found one. I found one of those like Dyson, really thin.
So much for my nice quiet cup of coffee.
this is great. There's no hair on the floor. Yeah, I did that like twice, and we were only there the whole week. I was like, oh my God, this dog. And I told Caitlin, I'm like, do you see how much hair this dog releases?
Caitlin
You
knows.
might not. Well, I don't know.
She knows. Caitlin is under no illusions about the dog hair that her dog sheds. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did have some bonding moments, some lovely bonding moments with Ladybug.
Oh, well,
Because at first
good.
she was like, I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But then she settled in and she would come up to me and she would press herself against my legs so I would,
Rubber or scratcher or something. Yeah.
Then she'd have a couple scratches like that. Then she'd be like, okay, I'm good. See you later. And then she'd go and plop herself down somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're in the category of dogs, talking about dogs. The only time I was kind of irritated by the dogs, one of them, who shall remain nameless, Darwin, likes to bark at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yes. And it's not a lot of barks,
Oh,
but it's
I never
enough.
heard him.
It's enough that it's like, Joy, wake up.
Oh man, I
You
had
never heard the barks?
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure it was him? Because there were dogs that moved in across the street.
It
too.
was him.
Oh.
I'm sure because it started early on when we first got there before there were any other dogs anywhere around. That little
Dog.
dog, barf, barf, just a few barks. Yeah, it was Darwin.
But that wasn't every morning.
It
Was it just the one morning?
It was like 3 mornings in a row.
Really?
Bark, bark. Yes.
Oh. I never heard
And
him.
the first morning, Ken was like, shut up. It was pretty funny. But yeah, a few mornings in a row, there was the barks. And we all know, or maybe you don't know, but if you don't, here you go. I'm not a morning person. I tend to stay up late, and I had all of my equipment because I had some work to do while I was there. So, of course, I'm staying up late, and also I'm a big reader. I read 3 books while I was on vacation. Yes, everyone, if you want to know what books I'm reading.
All of the chaos that was going on around her, she still managed to read 3 whole books.
Well, it's not like it was War and Peace. So we had the 3 dogs with us.
Yep.
We had Ladybug, who was the biggest dog.
Yep.
Then we had Darwin, Aaron's little Boston. And then we had your parents' dog.
Yeah, Santy.
And I do have to say that my first favorite comment of the whole trip came from your mother about their dog. So here's what she had to say about their dog. All right, so dog need to go to the bathroom at all?
Yeah, we are.
We are good.
ready.
What about
We're
the dog?
Good to travel. The dog did that already. All the numbers. He have his food and everything.
He did all the numbers.
And did all the numbers.
He did all the numbers. Okay.
Okay, so that's my first favorite comment,
That's
right?
funny. Yeah, we all did. What?
He did all the numbers.
He did all the numbers.
He went number 2 and he went number one. So
And he ate.
and he ate. But the dynamic between the dogs was pretty funny too. And listening to your mother talk about the dogs and how they were getting along. Yeah, I have a funny recording about that too.
All the food that I had put his medicine for the stomach, so that.
His
then all
probiotic.
that. And he went before I can do anything. Black, black, black. And I'm pulling the dog out of there, and it's so strong. It's a lion. I'm calling him a lion. I can do nothing. He ate all of it. I had to clean the thing again and start brand new again, put in food. It's so strong, and it's always hungry.
She's talking about
It's
Darwin.
So
always
she's talking
hungry.
about Darwin.
It's
She was
funny.
feeding Santy.
But
out-
I have never seen anything like it. And ate it all, totally. I thought, oh, he might get mad. No, he didn't get mad or anything. No.
No, he didn't get mad because he got the food.
So what happened is that she was feeding Santy every day out on the deck, right? This way, Ladybug and Darwin wouldn't go anywhere near his food.
They all get sequestered when they eat.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I don't know what in the world she was thinking. That she went ahead, gave him his probiotic. That's
I know,
what
this
she's
dog
putting in
gets
the
a
food,
probiotic.
right? She puts it down on the floor, and just as she puts it down on the floor, I was gonna say, hey, what are you doing? And there goes Darwin, the little Boston. Rawr! I mean, it was like, nope, I'm not leaving. She was like grabbing him by the shoulders. It was almost like trying to break up a fight between him and the bull. And she couldn't do it. And I was like, what? The entire week. This was like Thursday. We were there since Saturday. I don't know what possessed her to put it down inside. I was like, all 3 dogs were there. What makes you think that it would work out okay?
And I just want to point out again, that dog has his own probiotic. Not only does he have his own probiotic,
Yeah.
he also gets in his water a little bit of cranberry juice to promote his urinary tract health.
Yes.
And that dog, I have mentioned this
Well,
before.
and not only that, he's getting scraps too.
Oh, okay. I have mentioned this before. That dog has its own collection of grooming stuff, including a full set of shampoo, conditioner, and types of perfume.
Well, so does Darwin.
Oh, well, we'll get to Darwin in a minute. We're going to get to Darwin in a minute, okay? But you are right. That dog is spoiled. And they are feeding it table scraps, a lot of table scraps. So much so that the sugar from the food they feed that dog is making some of its teeth.
Yeah, rotten or whatever.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. Caitlin was irritated on vacation too. She's like, stop giving him that. That has sugar on it. And Mom was like, nah. So I turn and I tell the girls, will you guys just stop? Vacation is not the time to sit here and tell them what to do. I go, to be quite honest with you, they're probably not even going to listen to you anyway.
Nope.
So why
Not even a little.
even bring it up? Well, my mom heard that. Out of everything everyone says, right? What's the one thing she hears? Me. Did you hear her? Yes. She was saying, we're not even going to listen at all. And I was like, I was trying to
Be quiet, right.
I was trying to avoid conflict
Nope.
between the girls. Nah. It just, instead of it going to them, it went to me. I was like, okay. All right.
That's so funny. And it's true, too. The hearing is like selective. And you're low talking, like talking quietly, trying to say, hey, knock it off, whatever.
Yeah.
No, it's like her bat hearing can zero right in on what you're saying.
And it's only my voice because all the other stuff that the girls are saying is like,
right over her head.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Juliet said?
I know. I was like, I was trying to be nice. I was trying to keep the peace. No.
Well, yeah, it was entertaining to watch the whole interaction with the dogs.
Surprisingly, they all got along totally fine.
And I would like to point out from that recording, did you hear the barking in the background? That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't hear.
I'll tell you, Aaron was helping Ken pack up because that recording is from the day we left, Saturday.
Okay.
Aaron was helping Ken pack up the
Unpack.
truck. And so her dog, who is in terms of spoiled dog number 2, that dog has a full array of all kinds of accoutrements.
He's got his own luggage.
That dog has his own luggage. He has hats, sunglasses. I didn't get a picture of him wearing the goggles.
I can
Shoes?
give you one.
Okay, good.
He rides on her kayak and also the paddle board. I tell you that dog is the most well-behaved dog when he's on the water.
That's because he's on the water.
It's like statuesque when you see that dog. And he kind of looks at you like almost like he's like, nodding at you like, hey, dude. That's what he looks at you like
up?
when you're walking by. Yeah, hey, what's up? Hey, look at me. Hey, I'm right here.
Look at me. Oh, look at me. Am I so handsome?
And he's got hats. He's got sun goggles. He's got those other goggles that
I
he was
know.
wearing at the beach so he doesn't get sand in his eyes. He's got Crocs,
He does have Crocs.
green ones.
In fact, I have put together a little video that I'm going to put on our YouTube channel, and it's our beach trip.
Oh, good.
And I took a little video of Darwin.
Walking around with his Crocs.
Right. And I put it in that video. I just think it's hysterical. The way he walks. And
When you first get those on him,
he's like,
it's like his feet are like going all over the place and everything. And then he gets used to it and he walks pretty normal anyway.
no, he walks like he just got off a big horse.
But
Like
that's
he's
him
like
normally. He's got like those bow legs.
It's very, very, very funny.
When he was a puppy and barely could see, I mean, we're talking weeks old, he was the one puppy in the whole litter that was dragging his back legs. He's like, and they were like, sideways or whatever. So I'm sure he had some sort of, I don't know. Maybe they should have like taken a rubber band and held those little legs
Juliet,
together.
she's joking. We would never do that. Just like we would never put a leash on an older person. Never. We would never do those kinds of things. This is a scandal. You're trying to get us into trouble with all the dog lovers. But he also has clothes, a life jacket,
Yes, he's
a
got
winter
life jacket,
winter coat.
winter coat. He's got an entire wardrobe of Halloween costumes.
A boatload of them.
Yeah.
He has his own bed for the beach. He does.
Yeah, that blue one. Yeah.
Aaron kept it on the deck because the dogs could only be on the beach in the early morning. They
Yeah.
couldn't be on the beach between 9 and 5.
Right. But Darwin does like being out in the sun. So
Of course.
she bought this
Darwin's like a socialite. Darwin wants to hang out at the pool. He'd be great on a trip to Monaco. He's a jet-setting dog. Oh, you've got a boat? I'll get on there. I'll wave at people. Yeah. Darwin's a socialite,
gosh.
for sure.
But you know what? When you look at everybody, right? When you look at their dogs, don't they kind of mirror
Yes.
the person? Like, so Ladybug is like kinda,
Ladybug is actually a very sweet, laid-back kind of dog.
yeah. So she's
And
kind of
happy.
laid back and she's happy, but oh my gosh, she's such a klutz. She falls down the stairs. She falls up, going up the stairs. She trips over her own feet, and you can hear it all the time, all the way back down. I'm like, what happened? She missed the step. Okay. Caitlin used to do that all the time. As a kid, she would run down the stairs, make every single step except the last one or two. And then you would hear her tumble on the floor. And she was like 3 or 4. And then she would get up with her little finger in the air and she'd go, I'm okay. Right? And I'm like, one, she sounded German. I'm not quite sure where that came from. But 2, it was so often that she knew to say, I'm okay, because wherever Ken and I were, we were running over to the stairs to see if she broke something,
Sure.
But
I've fallen down the stairs. It's not fun.
yeah,
But yeah.
that's Ladybug too.
The klutziness,
And then,
yes.
Mr. French Riviera, Darwin, just like Aaron.
Well.
They like the finer things in life. The 2 of them.
And they will take your food. I'm just saying. Who was it that was telling the story about Caitlin was sitting there eating like a sandwich or a hot dog or something, and here comes Darwin because
Yes, and Darwin did come right up and like grabbed it out of her hand or something.
Got
It's
it.
like, I want that hot dog,
yeah.
or whatever it was. I
that
can't
hot dog
remember.
is mine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At one point, he was a little hyper because do you remember sitting there on the sofa and then him parkouring the whole room and then somehow getting onto the sofa? He was actually running on the back, like where you press your back up. He was running like that. He was going so fast. He turned and he knocked the wine out of my hands. I think it was mine or yours. I can't remember whose wine he knocked right out of their hands.
I don't know.
was like,
Either way, that's
what
a tragedy.
psycho dog. I know.
That dog clearly has no problem telling you it wants something.
No.
No problem
not
at all.
No.
And we'll look at you like, hey, dummy. Why are you not providing my every need? Yeah. And by the way, take this hat off of me. Because he doesn't enjoy wearing all that stuff.
Oh, and he's got his own dog sunscreen.
Oh, dog sunscreen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just one,
No, sorry.
but a couple of different kinds. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a picture of him wearing the goggles. I need to get that from you. I got to stick that in the video.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got it. Yeah, the new goggles, right? Because he's got the other ones, the red ones.
Well, the red ones are like sunglasses.
Yeah, the red ones are like sunglasses, but she was like, I think they push too much, on his face.
gee.
So then she bought these, and these look more like scuba glasses, scuba goggles,
You mean like a scuba mask?
scuba mask.
All right, close enough. Well, there was an entertaining moment where I almost called him Dorquin. Oh my God, Caitlin. Darwin, he had a little bit of trouble with some of the spiny stickers.
Oh, yes.
That was a very dramatic moment for
Yes,
everyone
that Carolina
for a couple of
cactus
days.
or whatever
right.
that was. Yeah,
A lot of dramatic
he had little
doggy tears.
cactus spines in his
Was
feet.
it you that was pointing out how Darwin was actually crying real doggy tears?
He was. There was a little tear right in his
Oh,
eyeball.
gee. Yeah.
Because he's like so crazy. He's like Erin was when you would try to pull out a splinter out of her foot or something. She's like, ah! Which I guess, she gets honestly from me. But
And
the
has
dog
passed it on to
is
her
the
dog
exact same
somehow.
way. The dog, I had to end up sneaking to pull out the spines. And once I pulled one out,
He was aware.
then it was like 3 other ones that I had to pull out. You have to hold them down and you just
And
ding,
the-
ding, ding.
And the whining and the crying.
I know. You should hear what it's like cutting his nails. He's like, ay, 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 ay. And then he's like pretend biting you because he really wants to bite you, but he knows that he's going to get in trouble if he bites you. So he's like, ah, ah. So he keeps mouthing your arm as you're trying to cut his nails. And you're like, oh.
I did not enjoy all the damp dog toys either. That's kind of gross.
Dog toys. Yeah, because they
they're
keep them
gross.
in their mouth. Yeah.
Well-
and then they want you to throw them and you don't want to touch them.
No, I don't want to touch them. You know, I don't. No. And I think the big culprit with the damp doggy toys is actually Ladybug because she's
Yeah,
a big licker
yeah.
and she has a lot of saliva and stuff like that.
She's the first dog that we've ever had that doesn't have jowls. She's got a really long nose, kind of like an Afghan.
Doesn't have jowls.
And she'll drink water and literally let the water
Oh yeah, it's all over the
drain
floor.
from
Yeah.
her mouth. Like I've never ever seen another dog ever do that in my life, except the Saint Bernard. But they have, you know, those fluffy jowls or whatever. I was just like, lady, every time she drinks, I'm yelling from the couch, lick, 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 and she'll go clip, 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 clip.
Oh yeah,
Because
she's
I'm like,
she's
oh
a
my
big.
gosh.
She licks a lot.
Just so she'll like gulp, gulp,
Yeah.
or whatever the water is that's in her mouth. She's like, luck, luck, luck. And she'll drink the water. And then that last lick, I guess she's like, blah, blah, blah. And then she leaves like all this trail of water. You're just like,
She's a very
oh my
sloppy drinker,
God.
and she licks a lot.
She's a sloppy drinker.
She's a sloppy drinker. She's a sloppy drunk. And she licks a lot because Caitlin says that's a nervous or anxiety response. And so she licks and licks and licks and licks. And I hate the licking.
Yeah,
and I
that's
don't
it.
enjoy that.
I tell her, she'll say, no, no. And she'll know right away.
No. I try to say, stop licking me. I try to say, no, maybe I'm not using the right words or whatever. Maybe I got to work on my dog language. But I try to tell the dog, no, don't lick me, you know. But she just goes ahead and does whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And she was relatively quiet until Ron showed up. But when Ron showed up, because
Oh, yeah. She gets her hairs.
her hairs, she's got like that toupee or whatever on her back and it sticks up. It's like she's got, you know, those big hairy caterpillars. You know what I mean? It's like she's got a saddle shaped hairy caterpillar toupee on her back.
She's
You
like,
know?
They're
that
hackles.
sticks up.
What is it called?
It's
Are
like
they
her hackles, yeah. And it sticks up when she gets her dander up. I guess
Yep.
that's what you say. And her hair all down her back. Ron would say, I love a woman with a hairy back. Well, she's hairy, all right.
Yes,
But her
for
big,
sure.
it looks like a toupee on
Yeah.
her back. And it stands up and she's barking at Ron. Rawr, rawr. She's got a scary bark.
She does.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Well, she's a pretty big dog.
It's a deep, deep bark. Yeah.
She's a pretty big dog. So, but they all got along pretty well. There was only one altercation over those fishbone toys where actually I saw Caitlin take the toy away because they had to fight over who got the fishbone shaped toy or
Yeah.
whatever. So, yeah. Okay. It was a dramatic incident there for just a few minutes, but it kind of resolved itself.
So that was one. That was our dogs.
That
on
was-
vacation.
Dogs on vacation, very, very entertaining. Now, listener, I would like to point out that Juliet has used a word I've never heard before, and that word would be parkour. That word means sort of like jumping around from building to building and running around aggressively outside. Now, where do you think she learned that word? Do you think maybe she's hanging around with extreme sport athletes when I'm not around? Or maybe Al likes to parkour around the neighborhood when nobody's looking? I don't know, but we're going to have to investigate that further. I'm just saying. Now, speaking of all the dog clothing and accessories, I will say that Darwin does look pretty stinking cute in his hat, life jacket, shoes, and shades. In all fairness, when I was a young professional like Aaron with a little disposable income, I spent money on shoes and bags, so I can't fault her for spoiling that little guy. And we all love Darwin and his energetic personality. We love all our fur babies. We just do. So, Darwin isn't the only one with accessories. You may have picked up on this already. We talked a little about Santy's probiotics and grooming products, but we didn't mention his clothing or, wait for it, his car seat, which prompted a fond memory from Juliet that Al confirmed at our most recent Monday night dinner. I drove your parents' little Jeep
Yeah.
with them in it down to the beach. And the reason is because they got that dog seat for the dog, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. Dog's got to have its own dog seat in the car.
It's a car seat. You know,
Like
you
a-
don't want them to hit the dashboard
my
when you have
God.
an accident.
So we're in the car. Well, we're taking your parents' Jeep, right? And I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting my stuff packed ahead of time. We got chairs for everybody. And we got a special chair for your dad.
You know what I just realized? Not to cut you off,
Nah, she's cutting me off.
but I'm going to cut you off.
Right.
So my parents got a car seat for their dog
Mm-hmm.
so that they're safe in the car. Way back when I was like 10 or 11,
They wouldn't even put a seatbelt on
there
you.
was no seatbelt. And that's how I got this scar right here.
Really?
Because the seats on this big car that my dad had
They like the dog better
didn't
than
lock. The backs didn't lock. So when my dad hit the brakes, the car seat went the front seat back went forward, and I went plowing right into the dashboard with my chin.
you. They like the dog better than
I'm
you.
just saying.
They like the dog better than you. They like the dog better than everybody,
Well, that's true.
truthfully. But
I think they like all the dogs and all the people better than me.
I don't know
But
about
anyway,
that.
so-
I don't know.
Continue.
Right. And now, to wind up this episode, here is Al confirming Juliet's story about the seatbelt and a fun comment from Lita about dogs versus people. Enjoy.
And every birthday is when we have to take Santini for
tooth pulled
the tooth
and the wart.
in 2 little words that has here and this.
Get him a little cosmetic surgery.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And here on his back,
A lipoma, a little fat deposit.
the fat deposit. So she says, since we have to put him to sleep to do this, might as well do the tooth, do the thing,
He already has to get another tooth taken out.
No, it's the
This is
same one. They haven't.
First time
I told him to just get a pair of pliers and pull them
Oh
out.
my god, no.
That's what he did to us when we were little kids. But the
did
dog, you have to put him under to sleep.
I know that's not true.
Yeah. Juliet, did Dad use pliers on
No.
us to get our teeth out?
Yeah.
See?
What?
When they were loose, do you remember when we were trying to get them out and they would slip out of our fingers? You would take a little plier,
You'd get a towel.
a towel with a plier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, if they
towel.
were stuck.
You put a little towel on there so you have grip. And then a pair of pliers, and he just went, okay, here we go.
Wow, that's like cat
Yeah.
surgery all over
But
again.
the dog,
Except on your kid.
the dog goes to the doctor, gets put under.
Well, the dog also has its own car seat and a seat belt. And Juliet and I were talking about this. She never wore a seat belt when she was a kid.
Well, little, no.
Well, that's when you're supposed to wear them, when you're little.
Yeah, but they weren't invented yet.
Yeah, and she gets
You were born in the 1800s.
and you get hurt because of that.
Yeah,
What?
see her face
Yeah.
hit
That's
the.
why. That's how I got this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because our car it was 2 doors, so the seats, the front seat, bended, and she was in the back seat, and I put my brakes on and boom,
She went forward.
all the way to the
All the way to the dashboard.
dashboard.
And I hit
He
and
cut
cut
the-
my
yeah.
my chin
Mhm.
on the
But
dashboard.
we got to make sure that that does not happen to the dog.
Oh, no,
Oh,
no.
yeah. Juliet! But the dog?
No.
Gotta protect the
They
dog.
gave repercussion. And you need.
I never saw a dog with its own car seat
Yeah.
until this one.
Erin has actually,
I know.
when we
Erin has
saw
one.
such a nice car seat for the dog, and we was with one that it was,
Oh, so you had one before the car seat you have right
yeah,
now. This is the second car seat.
yeah, and actually we see that it was much better, cushiony, and
Yeah.
so order one for us. Dogs, why is it that everybody nowadays have a dog? It's better to have a dog than a person. It's better to have a dog than a kid. It's better to have a dog than almost anything.
A husband.
Your husband.
You said it.
I actually talk more to the dog than I talk to the husband.
Uh-huh. I believe it.
Yeah.
Listener, don't you just feel like you were right there with us on the beach? It was super fun. And we did have a great time. And I, for one, really enjoyed spending time with all 3 of our 4-legged fur babies. I love them all. They're all great dogs. However, my favorite moment with the dogs was probably watching all the people on the pier marvel at Darwin in his cute little Crocs. He is a handsome fella and certainly does wear his accessories well. And if you want to enjoy a little video showing him in his shoes, shades, and hat, check out our beach trip video on our YouTube channel. You'll get a kick out of it too. Now, make sure you stay tuned for another episode of our family vacation hijinks where we play games and mispronounce lots of words. We're pretty sure you're going to enjoy it. This has been a public service announcement from the National Rug Safety Committee asking you to please put your dogs in pants. I hope you enjoyed listening and sharing a laugh or two with us. Stay tuned for more Everyday Macaroni adventures on future podcast episodes. And if you want to see some pictures of us, you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook by searching @EverydayMacaroni or #EverydayMacaroni. And now you can also watch us on YouTube. Just search Everyday Macaroni and our new channel will pop up. If you want to shop for some fun macaroni merch, head over to everydaymacaroni.com. Don't forget, if you have a blended family story to share, email us at info@everydaymacaroni.com and put the word share in the subject line. You can also call us on our Macaroni Fun Phone at 919-729-2043. Your story might end up on a future episode, and how fun would that be? Super fun. Finally, don't forget to give us a good review and download your favorite episodes. A share would be nice too. The more interaction we get for the podcast, the more episodes we can post. Again, thanks for listening, and join us for the next episode of Every Day